Good evening, it's meteorologist Michael Fecco. Welcome back to the 9 p.m. all-weather, all-streaming show that we do here every night during the workdays and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms as well as to Facebook and YouTube. So if you're joining us from either place, please feel free to leave us a question or a comment. Hopefully, I'll be able to address them all as I go through the forecast, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can answer anything individually for you. But let's get started here with a look at our headlines, and we're still tracking out rain continuing to fill in here across the tri-state through the rest of the night tonight, lingering into tomorrow morning before eventually tapering off completely by tomorrow afternoon. And then looking ahead to next week, it looks like temperatures continue to climb and we'll see a return of those spring-like temperatures all the way up into the 60s, maybe even 70 degrees in some locations. And then rain chances look to arrive along a cold front for the end of next week. So we'll see the chance for some showers, and then those temperatures will eventually cool back down by the time we get into next weekend. So I'll break down all the details here in just a moment. But here's a look at our current radar across the U.S. And you can see that this storm system is really kind of the focal point of the weather here across at least the eastern half of the United States. We have rain that's continuing to fill in here across the tri-state, although it looks like a lot of the heavier bands have set up farther to the north of the tri-state. So we're getting more of that on-off showery activity, but we will notice that this rain here down in northern Arkansas that's lifting up through Memphis, that's going to continue to fill in across the tri-state overnight tonight. And then if you look well off to our south, we've got some severe weather popping up across portions of Louisiana. Several severe thunderstorm warnings, several tornado warnings, and even a confirmed tornado warning there going through central Louisiana. And it looks like, luckily for us, the bulk of the severe weather threat remains across the deep south. So we're not concerned with that here in the tri-state. We're just looking at a good dose of rainfall here through tonight and into tomorrow morning. Taking a closer look at our radar, you can see again it's fairly spotty across the tri-state. It has been for the last couple of hours, but the bulk of that rain will really fill in overnight tonight, and that's where we'll see most of that rainfall accumulation. But here's a look at the future radar here, continuing to track out that rain overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. And one thing I've noticed, a lot of the models kind of want to end this a lot sooner, so it's kind of moving in and out here a lot quicker. So by the time we wake up early tomorrow morning, some folks out in southern Illinois, out towards Fairfield, Carmi, you already may be dry by that point, and then the rain tapers off very quickly by mid to late morning, and then we'll be completely dry by tomorrow afternoon. So the first half of Sunday looking a little bit less rainy at this point, so that's good news if any folks want to get outside and do something. And it looks like the cloud cover may break up a little bit as well through tomorrow afternoon, so we may see some cracks of sunshine. I'm not totally buying the complete clear skies that this model's putting out, but I do think it is possible we'll see at least some sunshine out there. But here's a look at the rainfall that we can expect through the rest of the night tonight. We'll pick up an additional ½ inch to an inch in some locations, and especially that inch amount likely for any heavier bands that continue to push through. But we're looking at a mostly beneficial rainfall here. We've been abnormally dry across much of the tri-state, and even portions of southern Illinois have been included in that moderate to even severe drought. So all this rain here is really going to help us out, and in terms of that flooding risk, it has been greatly reduced off to our southwest, so we're not really concerned with flooding, and of course that severe weather threat remaining well off to our south as well as it pushes into areas like Louisiana and into Mississippi and Alabama. But outside of the rainfall, let's take a look at our temperatures. It's still warmed up very nicely this afternoon, even with the cloud cover and the rain. We topped out in the mid-50s across the tri-state, and looking at how that departs from normal, we're running around 10 degrees above average here. So this is kind of all part of this big warming trend we've had over the last week, and that will continue into next week. But taking a look at those current temperatures, we have cooled down since earlier today. Most of us sitting in the mid-40s to right around 50 60 degrees in some spots across western Kentucky, 50 there in Madisonville and Dundee, 48 in Owensboro, sitting at around 46 along the river there in Mount Vernon, Evansville, and Newburgh. We'll continue to drop down by another degree or two overnight tonight, but most of us should hang out in the low to mid 40s through the overnight hours as that rain continues to push in. And that rain will, of course, linger into early tomorrow morning before drying out into the afternoon, and temperatures should still climb back up into the mid 50s by tomorrow afternoon as well. And of course, that warming trend I mentioned is likely going to continue well into next week, and the Climate Prediction Center has us outlooked for more warmer than average temperatures here through likely the end of the month. So here's a look at the temperature trend over the next 7 days. You can see we're already above average for this time of year. Typically, our average highs are in the mid 40s. We've been above that today. We'll be above that tomorrow and well above average through next week. We'll already top out around 60 degrees by Monday and then all the way into the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees by the time we get into Wednesday. So Wednesday is looking like the warmest day of the work week. However, it does look like a cold front will likely move in here Thursday evening and into Friday, and that's where we're going to see that chance for some more showers, maybe even a thunderstorm, but more importantly is it is going to take those temperatures way back down into the 50s by Friday and then into the upper 40s for next weekend. And I mentioned those rain chances, not really huge as of right now, but we'll continue to track it out here on our longer range model. We may see a sprinkle as an area of low pressure passes to our north on Wednesday, but really the best chances for rain arrive along this cold front here for Thursday night and into early Friday morning, and then that'll kick out of here pretty quickly by Friday afternoon, and then we'll dry out headed into next weekend, and temperatures also look to be cooler as that high pressure system builds in from the north. So let me go ahead and take this 7-day full screen for you so you can get a better look at it. While I'm going to do that, I'll check out some of your comments. Looks like Laura Gray is watching from Dawson Springs. Thank you for joining us. Same thing with Tina. Thank you, guys. Cheyenne says good evening. Drew Rapp is asking about any snow in March. Well, I don't have any solid forecast for you, but March is always a crazy month. So I know we've been warm here for the last week, and we're expected to be well above average next week. However, March is always that wild card, so you can never rule out snow in March, Drew. Ricky Brown says hello. Hello to you too. Lenny says better than it has been. I'm assuming he's talking about the temperatures out there. Tim says good evening. Good evening to you. And Darlene says hello from Madisonville, and she is enjoying this warmer weather. Yeah, we like to look on the positive side here. We know it's a little bit rainy out there this weekend, but at least it's been quite mild and warm, so it is enjoyable to at least hang out in. And especially by next week. So it's going to be gorgeous there. Plenty of warm weather to come. Hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of that next week. Take a walk outside, go for a hike, eat dinner outside, maybe break out the barbecue for President's Day. That would be a great plan. So I hope you guys really enjoy it and take advantage of this forecast. But that's all I've got here for the 14 First Alert Weather Show at 9. I'll send you guys over to 14 News at 10 for all the latest news and weather headlines. Until then, everybody stay safe and stay dry.